we're gonna just get Wes a doll and just show us on the doll where Stewart hurt you. It'll just be right here.
Oh boy!
You hurt my heart.
Right in the heart.
I just made the number one blooper on the show us on the doll.
I like that.
Woo! We were eating it.
I wish this was like those commercials where I could throw the yellow flag.
Throw it,
Or just send them the damn thing back.
Yeah, like
Rosie. What do you think about these old geezers talking about resale?
It's better than some of the podcasts we tried to do this weekend.
We're owning it. I mean, we're owning it. You know,
Yeah, we know we're awful.
Hey, you know, I got my friend. He asked me to send him one of the podcast episodes.
And then did he say that I was his hero?
Yeah, and I'm definitely not ashamed.
there's nothing that's going to change because then I look like I look kind of strange after that.
man, what happened to David Beckham?
Like, no.
Let's start a podcast where we just talk about beards.
There you go. See?
I know what we do, Johnny. Let's have an episode where we all four shave our beards right here
Oh, Lord.
on the podcast. On next week's show,
Jinko.
see Johnny get arrested.
That's right.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to the Finder Slippers Resell Podcast, episode number 27. We have Johnny in the house and Stewart somewhere out there on the road. Gentlemen, how you doing this evening?
Guys, we are almost at 130 subscribers. We are growing rapidly. So thank you to all of the new subscribers. I know we have some special guests today that I know are going to jack up those numbers.
Doing good. We got a special guest with us today.
You want to go ahead and introduce her, Stewart?
So my daughter Rosie, she's been, in addition to being my daughter, she's been my chauffeur for the last 5 days now.
Yeah, 5 days.
We're sorry, Rosie.
Me too.
Yeah. She's rethinking her choices, Johnny. Maybe I'll just sell everything off and then fly home.
I have so many questions for Rosie. It's not even funny. Like growing up knowing that your dad is the China King of Knoxville, like I can only imagine what life has been like.
Well, it wasn't until I hit, late high school, early college that he became the China King of Knoxville. I didn't grow up in his shadow too much.
Well, Johnny and I realize we're in some high cotton with him, right, Johnny?
Yeah. He's a whole other level. The guy's got embroidered polos.
Yeah, look at him. I'm in a Callahan Auto Parts shirt. I mean, come on.
I can't even afford a print.
Yeah, Rook. I don't know if you heard Rosie say back when she was in high school. Was it high school or before?
Yeah.
I thought you were younger.
I think it was freshman year of high school. We had matching auction, Franklin Hill Ventures auction team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Rosie used to go to the auction with me, and she's the only one of my kids I could really get to go.
So where's her polo at tonight, though, Stewart?
He hasn't got me one, so
I mean,
you can blame him for that one. He got my dog a t-shirt, though. It's too small for her, unfortunately.
Well, guys, we are past the Dollywood episode, last week's episode. Johnny, I have to give you kudos for the thumbnail. Wow. I mean, all of us wearing blonde hair looking like Dolly.
So when I originally created that thumbnail, only Stewart had the Dolly Parton wig on, but he was the one that was at Dollywood, so
That's
I felt
true.
like it was appropriate. But I went full blown Dolly. We all got dollied.
I noticed we had a compliment on how cute we all looked with our blonde hair.
Well, let's jump right in. Stewart, since you are on the road, kind of tell us where you're at, what you've been doing out there on the Oregon Trail so far.
So Rosie here, she's been living in Vancouver, Washington for the last, 11
months
or so. She worked for AmeriCorps out there, worked for the city of Vancouver, and I was actually lucky enough to get to go to the last event she coordinated, the whatever.
Vancouver Arts and Music Festival.
Yeah, so we
Just the volunteers, though.
We had a good time walking around at that on, what was that, Saturday? No, Friday. So, yeah, we left last Saturday. We left from Vancouver, Washington, headed to Bend, Oregon. So that was a short day. We really went there because Rosie's lived out there for that amount of time and had never made it to Bend. And, I mean, it was, I don't know, I was a little underwhelmed based on what I'd heard. Now, we didn't really get to do any of the outdoor stuff. But as far as like just Bend itself, it was just a bunch of upscale shopping places.
It's a tourist town.
It's definitely, I mean, it's kind of like an upscale version of Gatlinburg almost, I guess.
If you're not rich, then, and you're not doing the outdoors activities, then.
Yeah. But we had a cool Airbnb there, stayed in an old house, and then headed from Bend to, where did we go next?
Idaho.
Yeah, so we went to, what was that, something Falls or Springs?
No, that was Wyoming.
Oh, that was Wyoming. We've been gone so long, it all runs
Hagerman. Hagerman, Idaho.
And that was, I don't know, where did we stay there?
At a hotel.
Okay, yeah. Excuse me, we just stayed at a hotel in Hagerman, and it was, I'll tell you what, the first couple of days of the journey, it was terrain I've never seen. It was so pretty, just the mountains, and I mean, you could see snow-capped mountains in the distance, even being August. Then by the time we got to the end of Wyoming, yesterday, our longest day of driving, 11 hours, was probably the worst terrain. And it was literally almost 11 straight hours of soybeans and corn. The very first part of the trip, we were still in Wyoming, and we did get to go through, I guess, it was, I think it was the Rocky Mountains.
I think we went over a pass of the Rocky Mountains at some point, but
it wasn't like the really tall part of the Rockies. But that was pretty. But yeah, the rest of the time it was literally soybeans, corn, a lot of industrial sprinklers. But yeah, and then
oil rigs.
But when we made it to end of our 11 hours last night, I don't know if some people may have seen my video I posted. We stayed in an antique shop. Literally, I mean, I assumed we were going to be staying maybe in a room above an antique shop. But no, you walked in the front door and you're in the antique shop, and they had a bedroom off of the main part of the shop and a bathroom and everything. So, and you could shop and everything was on the honor system. I did not get anything, but there were a couple of things I almost pulled the trigger on, but their prices were a little high for what I would have been doing with them. So,
Rosie, were you all able to stop on the side of the road and take those tourist pictures with your dad? Were you able to do that?
We took a couple. I think he wanted to stop a lot more than I ended up stopping. from the exit or the pull off, and you're going 80 miles per hour down those interstates. So
well, we had a couple of planned stops we made. We went to the kind of to follow up on our Niagara Falls episode that we had with Popeye. We went to the Niagara Falls of the West, which was called, what was it? Shoshone. It's either
Shoshone.
It's either Shoshone or Shoshone. We think it may be Shoshone. But it's supposedly taller than Niagara Falls. I don't think it's as large overall. But
sounds terrible.
And we bought some postcards because I think souvenirs are more desirable from the Niagara Falls of the East. And so that was a really cool stop. And it turns out a friend of mine commented on one of my photos. We were apparently only like 15 minutes from the spot where Evel Knievel jumped over the Snake River.
Oh, wow.
About that, but we did not.
Well, attempted to jump over the Snake River.
And then the other stop we made, where was it?
We went to Great Salt Lake.
Oh, and then we went to Great Salt Lake that same day, and that was incredible. We had planned to swim in the Great Salt Lake because they had a beach at the park we went to. But we pictured like you drive up and you get out of your car and there's this beach kind of like you would see at the ocean. And so you just walk off the beach into the water. It was literally probably a mile. Well, maybe not quite that far, but a half a mile from the start of the beach to where the water was out there. So we ended up. We ended up not swimming. Still very pretty.
Johnny, can't you see Stewart standing there going, yeah, I'm not going out.
Well, it was literally 100 degrees. It was really, really hot.
And we also had a dog, and dogs aren't technically allowed on the beach there. So, it wasn't just our laziness.
It was all the dog. We were going to do it, but
Yeah.
So have you all made any other stops along the way as far as a Goodwill or a yard sale or anything on your Oregon Trail trip?
we went in a couple of thrift shops in Bend, and the only thing I bought, it's in the car, I'd show it. I bought a, was it Miller or Bud? It was Miller. It was a Miller High Life, like glass pitcher. I mean,
Glass, of course.
Glass, yeah.
You didn't buy anything, did you?
I bought tennis balls.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she bought tennis balls for her dog.
Okay. Go get it.
But no, have not done as much thrifting as I thought I would. I think I've done enough to make it qualify as a business trip, though.
Well, that's good. So, gentlemen, how's your all's week shook out so far? I mean, Stewart, being on the road, did you just keep your store open, or did you put it on time away, or what did you do?
So my eBay store I put on time away, which, and as long as you're gone less than 15 days, you can still allow sales, and it just automatically increases your handling time. So I think I sold 4 things on eBay while I was gone that I'll have to ship out by Monday, I think, but I'll try to get them out Friday. Then Etsy, I just went into each of my shipping profiles and changed the handling time to 6 days, which is 6 business days. I think I sold like 8 things on Etsy while I was gone. And then I did put Poshmark, Macari, and Facebook Marketplace all on vacation mode, but then I turned it off yesterday, so haven't gotten any sales on those platforms since I turned it off. But yeah, so 3 of the 5 I completely shut down. eBay and Etsy, I did keep up with extended handling times.
Johnny, what about your week this past week?
We've been really busy. We had a really good weekend. So Monday we shipped out 53 orders, which was a pretty solid weekend for us.
Nice.
And then we did a post office run today. And I think we had like 26 orders from Monday evening to this morning, really.
Wow, that's really good. We're doing okay. I regret to inform you all that I have now sold the Harry Potter blanket. If y'all remember the episode, it took out of here yesterday, so it is now gone. But it'll always be encapsulated in one of our episodes. So
yeah,
if anybody subscribe to that, head back and see the Harry Potter blanket that we sold.
And hey, Wes, you did sell a couple of Beanie Babies.
Oh, yay! Excellent.
So,
Bolo alert.
Yeah, so $5 minus 20%. So what? $4 each. I know we sold at least 4. So you've got
good.
What, $8?
Well, no wonder he's got that new polo on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has explained some things, Johnny. You have a keen eye, my friend. Huh.
I think I see a gold tooth.
And
lean forward just a little bit, Stewart. Let's see.
We did listen to a podcast on the Beanie Baby craze on the drive yesterday, I think, talking about how all these people invested their whole life savings into Beanie Babies, and then the market bottom fell out.
Have you guys seen any of those movies or like the documentary?
No, I haven't.
It is wild. I mean, just wild.
Well,
almost. Go ahead. Oh, it's almost like mafioso, like very weird.
Well, what was interesting in this podcast, it was these 2 ladies, was it Sherry or
something like that? Yeah.
So I mean, they were like they were obsessed with Beanie Babies, like when they very first came out, and discovered that there were all these different kinds, and they were like literally like calling other countries and visiting other countries and buying up all these, and they became like the experts in the Beanie Baby field. And really, I mean, they made a ton of money because they had, back before, when I guess Beanie Babies kind of came out at the perfect time. It was before eBay, but it was when the internet was first starting. So you had some global reach to reach people. They had mainly like message boards and things like that. So you could sell them internationally, but there wasn't any ability to easily do it And so, these ladies kind of cornered the market and made a killing, and they put out official price guides, which they were, when they were setting the prices for the things they were selling using these price guides. So,
well, and I'm going to ask a serious question, and I really want to know this. Is there any Beanie Baby out there that's worth anything? I mean, seriously.
I think that they said
they mentioned like the limited, the ones that were actually limited edition.
Yeah, like the first and second generation, when the guy was literally, when he was first starting, and they were truly limited because they didn't have big distribution. Now, the guy who started it, his name was Ty something, but so, hence the Ty company name. But he was a pretty shrewd business guy as well. And he was real, he knew all about creating the perceived scarcity. And, he would like hold back volumes of them, and then later flood the market. And then also just the whole retired thing, where it created this demand because, hey, we're never going to make these again. Granted, we've already made 1 million of them, but with it being eBay, the thing is, it's just like anything pre-eBay. You could only really easily get what was in your area. So, there might have been 1 million of these things, but as far as you being able to lay your hands on them, you had to really work at it. I mean, you had to know to go to these boards, and there were only a few people selling them online, or you had to go to your local drugstore or gift shop or whatever place happened to be selling them. So,
well, and they said he would only send like a limited quantity to each of the drugstores. So within those local areas, it was super scarce to get this one limited edition Beanie Baby.
When I know the owner of our antique mall at Granny's, she said she worked at a drugstore, like one of the local type drugstores in Oak Ridge. When I think she was in high school then, she said they sold the beanies, and she said literally on the day that people knew new beanie shipments were coming in, they would be lined up, 2 hours before.
Crazy.
So.
Well, I have to admit, Stewart, and I'm not joking about this either. Anyone you sell makes me feel just a tick better about that, because I don't know if Rosie knows the whole story, but Rosie, I bought 111 Beanie Babies at my very first estate sale, a quarter a piece, and I thought, man, these people they're not in here buying these. I mean, they're crazy.
So just think, Wes, you bought them for a quarter. I'm now selling them for, anywhere between, depending on what percentage off, $4 to $5 each. You literally can't get returns like that on the stock market. What is that? However many hundreds of percents that is.
That's true, but the fact that it's 2.5 years since I bought them, it's a little bit long in the tooth, I guess.
Well, on the podcast, they talked about people who gave away their whole kids' college savings. They were banking on that, and if the market crashed, and so they lost their kids' college savings or their house savings. So at least you're not there.
Right. That's a true statement. That's a very true
yeah.
statement.
See, you're just out like $30. No big deal.
Well, for now, Johnny, I mean, we keep going and Stewart gets hot with those things. I mean, Christmas is coming up,
What if there's other YouTube resellers that sell plush as their own? I mean, somehow we've got to be able to personalize these Beanie Babies, so they're finders, flippers, Beanie Babies.
Oh, that's what
they can't be Beanie Babies. You can't use Beanie Babies.
Right.
We should have had the three of us sign each of the tags. It's a limited flippers.
Hey, we can still do that.
We're gonna call them stuffed stews.
We can put the Franklin Hill polos on each of them. Then
Yes.
Well, we have a special guest getting ready to come in here and join us. Everybody.
We'll stop recording. We can't be sharing all these business secrets.
Yeah. Stop. We're going to go ahead and bring none other than a very big friend of the show, Mr. David Beckham. Come on in. David, how you doing this evening, my friend?
I'm great. Guys, can you hear me okay, I guess?
Yeah.
Just
we got you.
It's great. I know you guys have hit the bottom of your guest list because you've had some pretty high-powered guests on, and all of a sudden on the show, it's like it's either me or a death pile picker. So hey.
Hey, we don't discriminate. We'll take anybody.
No, I love you guys. You guys are great, and thank you for having me on again. I really appreciate it. So.
We always forget you're the other David Beckham, and we're like, oh, Posh
know.
isn't gonna be on.
I know. Posh is in the other room right now, and she's in her jammies already. So I doubt that you'll see her tonight.
Dave, we have Stewart. He is in Missouri right now, and this is his daughter Rosie. So they're on location out on the road on the Oregon Trail.
I don't think I've had a chance to actually talk to Stewart before, so it's nice.
That's right.
I've been following you on your Instagram tour, and you guys that were staying at that antique house. That was the coolest thing. I think you should have done. I hope you did more videos on that because it was neat. I've never seen anything like that, Airbnb like that. So.
Yeah, it was definitely different. I was telling them it was definitely different than what I expected. When Rosie told me we were staying at a antique mall or thrift shop, I mean, I assumed that there would be an apartment above it, made. Not that you would walk in the front door and, you've got
that was it.
The antique shop. So
that was insane. So cool. That's a trip of a lifetime memory there. So,
so Rosie, I want to jump back with you real quick. You are making your way back to Knoxville. So what are you looking to do? Are you looking to join Dad as a job, or what are you looking to do?
If he could pay me a good salary, then maybe I consider. But hoping to get a job somewhere in environmental work. We'll see. That's what job applying starts like crazy this next week.
Yeah, we've got a hiring freeze at Franklin Hill Ventures.
Well, Johnny's tried to get on with him 2 or 3 times, and he just absolutely will not hire him.
Rejected every time.
You don't want to work for him.
Well, your dad, he doesn't get any negative feedback, which rubs Johnny and I just a little bit, because Johnny and I get quite a bit. What about you, Dave? You get a lot of negative feedback?
So, no, I don't. But I do have one negative feedback on mine, and it's because of the eBay international shipping. And I sent a beautiful set of golf clubs. These were vintage ping wood, the blonde wood golf clubs. They went to Canada, and they were under the size limit, everything. They went up to the distribution center, and for whatever reason, whatever happened, they come back and said, oh, these can't be shipped. And so they canceled the order. Well, the guy left me a negative feedback, which basically says, won't ship to Canada. And I'm like, well, how did they do that? So I have 20 emails back and forth with eBay trying to say, look, this is an international shipping. I'm not even supposed to be responsible. I did everything I was supposed to do. What did you guys do? Well, they didn't do it. So it's the only negative thing I had to say about, but I did get a neutral feedback this week, and I sold some colored pencils, and I had bought these at a Walmart, like there was just like on sale, that whatever, they were like 25 cents a pack, and they're selling for like $5 or $6 a pack. So I've had them on my site because I have so many of them. I've never had a problem with them. I must sell one a month and just ship them out. Some guy wrote on there as a neutral feedback, doesn't color well, won't buy again. And I was like, maybe the problem is you. I'm not sure. You can't color in the lines. I'm not sure. Maybe the pencils weren't sharp enough. I'm not sure. Anyway, I don't know. So anyway, I got a neutral, so it doesn't hurt your standing, but I keep looking at 99.8, and it drives me nuts. So
it's crazy that a Canadian would leave negative feedback. I thought it would just be positive or positive.
Yeah, exactly. They're the nicest people in the world, and he was negative. So, and he wouldn't change it either. So I was like, I just gave up. I'm like, it'll fall off in a year, and
he was probably French Canadian. Those
I think so.
They're bad news.
It probably was.
Probably one of those people from Buffalo.
That's the neutral feedback.
Niagara Falls, yeah.
Yeah, the Niagara Falls. Johnny, how's your campaign going for the mayor up there?
It's going well. We're printing signs, so look out for some yard signs to be coming out soon.
So you're just doing a grassroots effort?
We're doing grassroots, yes. Make Niagara Falls the honeymoon capital of the world again. So very excited. They're very long signs. They're very long signs.
Quite the acronym.
It's more of a banner, really. But people are supporting it.
Rosie, until you do get a job, a stopgap for you. You could help your dad. That's a possibility.
Labor, so
do what?
do free labor.
Well, he's going to have to cough up some. I mean, he does make some pretty good, decent money, you know.
He is on a podcast that may or may not be bringing in pennies.
We're shooting for 17 cents, Johnny. Don't forget that.
17 cents.
The day you guys can buy a Big Mac, you will be celebrating. Trust me.
I will do a video on that, showing
Yeah.
all the way through the drive-through. So check this out, guys.
Yeah.
Big Mac time. I don't know. Big Mac nowadays is, you know.
Yeah, you're gonna take a couple months actually worth of revenue to get that.
Yeah.
Thing from McDonald's lately. I got a quarter pounder the other day, and calling this thing a quarter pounder was very generous.
Half a quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very, very small. So
I
Wait,
try not
now
to
that-
frequent McDonald's much.
Since we're on the McDonald's topic, okay, so my favorite thing from McDonald's is the hot and spicy McChicken sandwich,
Ooh.
but we do not have them in North Carolina. Do you guys, or David, are they in Florida? Do you guys have hot and spicy McChicken sandwiches in Tennessee?
I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
I think I've seen them on the few times that we've been there, but yeah, I'm almost sure.
Hot and spicy. I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you, Johnny. I'm going to check that out. And if we do,
Yeah,
I'll
that's
send
actually
you a
oddly
video.
important to me.
Yeah, I'll send you a video so you can virtually have one.
Where are you?
Rosie, did they have them in Oregon or in Washington?
I don't think I visited McDonald's once while I was in Oregon or Washington. So
If they
Good
Well,
did
no wonders you left. Terrible.
$4. Hey, if they have them in Tennessee, Wes, we'll throw it in a poly bag and send it to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the way the heat's going right now, it'll stay hot and fresh.
Yeah,
for
Stay
you.
warm and fresh all the way there.
If you could
So
keep
it's
that mayonnaise at room temperature for me, that'd be great.
Yeah. Hot and
McDonald's
spicy
will stay good
McChicken
forever.
sandwich, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
that's how I put 30 pounds on in college.
I don't know, Johnny. You kind of strike me as a fillet of fish kind of guy. I don't know.
Oh no,
Yeah.
cheese and fish, that weirds me out.
Well, it's
Yeah.
just because of the rapids, you know. Going over the rapids and stuff. You up there fishing?
I don't eat a lot of seafood, but when I do, it's not mass produced.
Yeah, have you ever caught a triangle fish?
They're very hard to catch.
You got to be super talented.
Yeah. You got to catch them with a round net. That's the problem.
So, David, I want to jump over to hurricane status. Since you're down there in Florida, did you
Give me a good
sustain
one.
any damage, or did it blow by you, or how did that
No.
Hurricane Debbie? Or was it Debbie? Is that right?
Yeah, it was Debbie. It went way, way east of us, so we didn't have any damage or any problems at all. I don't think we even had any waves out there, so it was fine. It's just beastly hot down here right now.
Mhm.
So
South Carolina, it's getting hammered. I think we ended up getting it worse than Florida. I saw where Charleston got maybe like 9 inches of rain in
mhm.
a couple of hours, and now it's gone out in the ocean. It's getting ready to turn back and come back on shore between
yeah,
Charleston and Myrtle Beach again.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
yeah, they're getting it
I didn't
twice.
see that.
Yeah, it's doing the big loop coming back. So
Getting some more moisture with it and going to bring it right back in.
yeah, so
Mm.
kind of sucks when they do that, and it's not the first time I've seen that happen. So
So, Dave, how's your reselling going so far here lately?
well, it was I mean, it's hit and miss. It's been okay. I mean, it's just been slower than normal, so we were a little lower. I mean, we're still like 30% over what we've done last year, so we've done better. I did sell like a $159 comic today, so that kind of boosted this week. So, and if you see, I did clean my office. I just want you to
Yeah,
look
I
at
was
it.
gonna say.
So this is all my stuff. I even have them mounted up there. So
Yeah.
I have it clean. So I have no excuse now to do videos. So I guess I need to start kind of getting back out to doing some stuff. So
Well,
But,
mine,
yeah.
about the fourth week in a row, is still under construction.
I see it. So,
Yeah, Wes, what is the update on that? America wants to know.
Well, Johnny, here's the deal. I don't really particularly want to ask my wife because you know as well as I do. As soon as I do, it's
It
going to
starts.
open up me being, a painter and everything else. So I'm just continuing on hanging out, enjoying the
Well, the
background.
good news is you don't have any like random paint strips hanging on the wall that would, be in her face every day. That would
That's
make
true.
her.
That's very true.
Your T-shirt today, Wes, would actually fade into that wall if you didn't have that picture back there when you painted that color. So.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
So
I am repping Callahan Auto. So.
There you go. I'm repping something that says "Not my circus, not my monkeys." So,
Okay. If you notice, he's wearing his polo over there.
Well, of course, man. He's advertising all the time.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
He's got the money, Johnny. We're going to have to give you a shirt, man. It's got some print on it or something. So, Stewart, are you on the last leg of your trip now? Because you're trying to bring it on home. What's tomorrow look like for you and your daughter?
So we leave here in Missouri, and we'll be back in Knoxville. Hopefully, if all things go as planned, by 5 or 6 tomorrow night. We have about 8 hours, 7.5 driving time. So by the time we stop and let the dog out a time or two, get gas, it'll probably end up being an extra hour on top of that. But yeah, looking forward to getting home. I know Rosie's looking forward to getting home and getting settled in. She's moving in with my other daughter in Oak Ridge.
Oh, okay.
So they'll be splitting a house. It's my mom's house. And actually, the fence people came today and put a new fence in the backyard. So Olive, who's over here, can't see her, but she's been my companion at my feet most of the trip in the four-wheel. So, we'll be home tomorrow, though.
So, Rosie, you sold off, furniture, bigger things like that, so you didn't have to haul them?
Yeah, either sold everything or threw it in the trash.
Yeah, we took her mattress to the dump the day I got there on last Friday, strapped it to the top of the car, and it's expensive to dispose of stuff out there. It was $15 to get rid of the mattress.
Yeah.
Like free.
Wow. Now, you need to get your dad, and y'all go, looking for some new items when you get back. He can help furnish your house.
Garage sales.
Out on that mission.
Well, Stewart, yeah, exactly. Stewart's going to take you on the yard sale path. Hey, we can pick up a credenza here, and we can, get a bed here for $10.
He needs someone to go with him, or he won't know which way he turned into the neighborhood from. He'll never be able to get out of there.
I don't know about. You do much shopping at thrift shops?
For clothes, yeah. If I need something, yes.
I know my oldest daughter and her husband. They live in Houston, and they said the Goodwills there are really good, and they're not reselling, but they're constantly buying stuff for themselves. And I know Tanner, my son, who lives in Nashville. He does a lot of thrift shopping just for himself. And I don't know about Jenna.
I think we all visit thrift shops if we need something. But if we don't need anything, we're not spending the money, regardless of where it goes.
I feel like every podcast, Stewart has one more kid that we don't know about.
I know. What are we up to?
I was like 9, 10. Stewart, how many children do you have?
There's 4 of us, 1 grandbaby, and 1 grand dog, and 1 grand.
Oh.
And a dog and a kitten of his own as well. So I guess he has 6 children.
Well, Johnny is soon to become a stepson.
Yeah, I'm moving in. Hey.
They have some extra bedrooms, so.
Oh man.
Stewart, how is that cat? I forgot about your kitten.
Well,
oh yeah.
When I left, she was still pretty wild. Amy told me she slept through the night 2 nights in a row in the bed. Before I left about 2 she was doing okay falling asleep. I'd have to get up at 2 a.m. She could be climbing the curtains or something out and throw it in the bedroom next door and shut the door. But apparently she's calmed down since I've been gone.
Doesn't catnip work for that or something? Or
David, do you have cats? Dogs?
Oh heck no. No, my wife's definitely allergic to cats, but we do have dogs. We have a Australian Shepherd who's right behind me. She's always somewhere right next to me. And then we have a Yorkie. He's 14 years old, so he can't really figure out where he's at most of the time, but he's a good dog. So he's kind of slow and he's old. So
Well, Johnny's got a massive cat. Where is your cat at, Johnny? Is it near you?
Oh man, he's roaming around somewhere. He'll make an appearance. I'm actually
one of the-
surprised he's not here.
That's one of the biggest cats I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's
You
got a
pick it
little
up, it's like
Mancoon
this
in him.
big.
Yeah.
like a small dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's Rosie's dog over here that's been traveling with us. Can you see her?
Oh, yeah.
She's trying to break into this building we're sitting in front of right now.
You smell something.
Yeah, it is a food establishment, so
Is
Looks
it
like a
closed?
yeah,
looks like a Panera's or something.
it's called Milk and Honey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
podcast is all that stands between us and ice cream. So we
Wow.
Oh God. Well, on that note,
Well, Stewart, you can go ahead and turn your camera off and hit it. We'll just continue on. Stewart's like, I'm not gonna miss out on this.
got me when I'm here. So
He has too much fun. He has too much fun. Oh gosh.
I do this might be breaking news. I won't make it official, but I think I have us a very special guest for the last Wednesday in August. I was just checking the Frizzy Finds hotline. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for
Johnny's
a
been
special
working.
guest coming.
Well,
soon.
I'm glad that we have David coming on tonight because, guys, David is probably our best commenter on our podcast. He's watching all of them. He's letting us
I'm
know.
trying.
So Dave, we really do appreciate you.
Trying to
keeping
help
up
you
with
get some more followers. So we'll try to get you to 200 so you do another live.
Yeah.
So,
Does anybody know where we're at right now? What was the final number where we are before we come on? Because I don't
know. You went up another 4 while I was watching it today.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah. So I don't know. I think just kind of getting on there.
Those
and
were the-
commenting.
Those were the 4 new accounts I created this morning.
Johnny's got about 18 tabs open
Yeah,
on
I
his
do.
computer.
I can't even keep all my passwords straight.
I know I'll probably get a couple more because I got to show my mom how to get on, and so she can see when I'm on here. So I'll get a couple more when I go see her in Iowa in September. So
All right, we're at 129.
okay,
Okay.
so you did get a few more.
I'll have to make sure I'm following.
we
Yes,
might
please.
What?
Rosie.
Gosh, yeah.
go live on air. We might pick up another follower. Let's see.
Help your dad out. You got all those kids. You should be able to
Yeah,
get some followers.
Get her and your
Yeah,
18
like-
brothers and sisters to follow us. too.
Yeah, I feel like.
So I
But
know
for anyone keeping score, we are winning 129 to 11 versus the original Finders Flipper resell channel.
There
So
we go.
we're starting to really blow them away.
we'll just
It's already
remember your name. You couldn't figure out who you were for the longest time.
Yeah,
So-
for real.
That's true. Somewhere around episode 9 or 10, I think we got ourselves together.
Yeah, it was
After our hiatus.
yeah, that was good.
My hiatus. So sorry. But this year, though, David, we're staying solid all the
You
way
guys are
through.
doing great.
I actually refed basketball games last night, guys. I started
Oh,
the
you did?
fall league. Yeah,
Your Tuesday, Thursdays, right?
yeah. I started the fall league last night. Did 3 of them, and I couldn't hardly walk today. So
How many traveling calls were there?
not many. These fall leagues are very less adjudicated than they are during the regular season. It's just get the rebound, go to the hole. Get the rebound, go to the hole. It's just you're just up and down the floor. That's it.
You're just making sure.
top league thing, Wes.
Yes, it's the Rocky Top Fall League.
My son played it here. That was fun.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I played in it back in the day. We had, I don't know if you remember Greg Bell and Carlos Groves that played over at UT.
Yeah.
Greg Bell was on my fall league team back in the 80s when I was doing it.
So you doing? Is this the high school Rocky Top League or just the regular Rocky Top League?
No, this is the high school league.
They don't do the regular. They don't do the one with the college kids anymore, do they?
No. Now, I did ref that one for a while over there at Bearden. No air conditioning, packed. You're just absolutely pouring sweat. And the game would end up being like 190 to 192. Just a dunk after dunk after dunk. So
David, this is the 10-minute portion of the show where these two old guys just talk about Knoxville related things.
Reminisce.
Tell you what, now, boys, don't you make fun of me.
I remember when that was just nothing but a field over there.
Yeah, this is where they just have their sweet tea and talk about good old Knoxville.
Good old
I like to watch
Knoxville.
Johnny's face because he starts going. And he gets that forlorn look on his face.
Trying to find a place to jump in.
I do need to start going through my thesaurus and talking about words that I use. My mom has watched the podcast and she says, some of the words you use, Wes, I don't know what you're saying. So I think I'll start having a word next week of the word of the podcast for my mom.
It's for your mom.
Yeah.
Say that a lot. And it gets on to me. She goes, everything's incredible to you. So
But we all have things that we do that's
We
funny.
do. I know. I do the same thing when I try to make a video for Instagram or something, and I'm like, I do a lot of I'm like, oh my god, I used to be a speaker. There's no way I could talk like that all the time, but apparently I do. When I'm not talking to someone else, I'm doing that in the video. So I'm like, oh, this is terrible. So it's probably why I've canceled so many of them. I'm just like, oh, I don't give it. So.
it's funny you say that because I find myself saying a lot and then which I don't know where I picked that up. It's like a teenage girl, but
Yeah.
and so I mean I do try to focus more on not doing those things, but I'll watch them back and I did it again, and it's
It's so hard to fix. I mean, it really
Stewart's
is.
also very handsy too. He's like,
I know, to be animated, like,
Yeah. But he's very engaging because Johnny always asks him to set the scene for us, right, Johnny?
That's right. That's right.
Well, that's usually been my problem. I usually talk with my hands. Like if I'm in front of a podium, I'm like doing this, and so it's hard because I'm sitting here in my chair just trying not to move.
So, Rosie, one of the last things I want to ask you: has your dad been a thief very long?
Still can't get over that marriage license.
I can't. I simply turned. I said, "Hey, Stewart, what about this?" Held it up. I was like showing him, Oh yeah, that's a good one. He put it in his bag and walked out, and I'm like,
Oh my gosh. Oh.
he said, "Do you have it prominently displayed yet, Stewart?"
I wish this was like those commercials where I could throw the yellow flag. And
Throw it. Hey, I'll add it in. Go ahead and throw the flag. I don't care. Go ahead.
Get the
watch
replay of what
let's watch
really
the
happened.
replay. Let's watch the replay.
Let's watch the videotape. Unfortunately, I cut it off during that time, but
Oh my gosh.
it makes for compelling podcast chatter. So
it does. Go ahead.
We're gonna just get Wes a doll and just show us on the doll where Stewart hurt you. It'll just be right here. My
Oh
heart.
boy,
You hurt my heart.
Right in the heart. Right in the heart.
I just made the #1 blooper on the. Show us on the doll. Johnny, that's good, dude.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh.
Stewart, just send him the damn thing back, would you?
Yeah, like I think it would be funny as heck to have that thing in the mail and you got it in the next podcast.
At least photocopy
Listen.
it and send it to me.
I'm about to drive to Granny's attic, buy that damn thing, and just put it on your front door.
Roll it up in a scroll and send it to me. Seriously, I mean, that thing being from 1912, that was actually a really cool piece, Stewart. I mean, I'm just now trying to learn ephemera, but in the ephemera world, where does that rank, seriously, as far as things that you've collected?
I mean, really, old marriage certificates like that aren't worth just a ton. I've had some actually ones from the 1800s and sold them for $10, $15. So, I guess if you have an important person, maybe, but just a run-of-the-mill marriage certificate, but yeah, I mean, but you're right. It's a very cool piece, and that's what makes ephemera so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So a David Beckham marriage certificate from 1986 probably isn't worth very much either.
It's not going to get it done.
Probably not going to get it done.
Well,
Darn.
if we were to mislead people on who the David Beckham is, maybe it would
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, they don't know. I mean, I guess you could compare the signatures.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, we lost Stewart.
we lost Stewart.
Uh-oh.
Bummer.
Wow. He is completely out.
So, did I tell you guys that, I told you about my booth. Did you see the video of my booth opening? That I got a booth open at a vendor mall?
I've seen where you had talked about you were going to open one, but I haven't seen the video yet. No.
Yeah, I put it on Instagram, I think. Yeah, it's on Instagram, so under Brief Flippers. But anyway, so we opened up a booth at a vendor mall.
Everybody do it.
I like that. I like that. Woo!
There's another blooper.
We were eating.
Yeah, it's like ET.
Now's our chance to talk about Stewart. He took off.
So, David, I totally missed that though. You're doing a booth?
Yeah, we did a booth, and so we had a shelf. I mean, literally, it was a 5 foot wide by 6 foot tall shelf, and we had comics and different things in there. And it just, it was, we made a few sales. We didn't make much. So we're like, they opened up a booth in the front of the shop, and we're like, they said we have either a 6x7 or a 6x8, and I said, take the 6x8 for it's $110 a month. But we ran some video and did some linking and stuff, and it actually we've been making sales the past couple of days, which I'm really impressed. So we have comics in there, and we have like pop figures and a bunch of stuff. But so we're trying to. So I'm basically taking the things that either A, don't sell well, or I just really don't want to ship, and I'm putting it in that booth. And so it's been kind of fun. So we're enjoying it. My wife, who's been in retail her entire life and managed retail stores, she kind of has an eye for putting things out. So she does a really good job with setting it up and everything. So, but it looks good.
Stewart, while you were away, he was talking about a booth he just opened. Now, you have a total of, is it 2 or 3?
We got 3 locations.
He's got 3 locations, David.
What do you sell primarily in there, Stewart? Is it?
It's all stuff under the vintage and antique umbrella for the most part. The one in Clinton, we're a little looser, like the Beanie Babies we sell in there, and but yeah, for the most part, it's vintage and antique stuff.
Yeah, because
mostly all marriage certificates.
Stolen marriage certificates.
Stolen ones. No, we're doing comics and pop figures and like pop culture kind of stuff, but we also have like one section where I am throwing up stuff like anything. We have a bunch of vintage plates and different things and stuff that we want to put in there, and we thought, well, we'll try a little bit of everything because honestly, it's a vendor mall, so it has everything from antiques to pop culture stuff in it. So, matter of fact, we're right across from a guy that has nothing but like video games and anime and all that stuff. So I think it kind of works out perfectly. So I'm hoping that it does well. It has to make at least 110 a month, so it doesn't come out of my pocket. But I have thousands of comics, that I need to get rid of. So that's a great way to kind of push through them. So.
Well, I've never had a booth, and Stewart, maybe you can help me out with this. Do you have to go work the booth, or can it just sit? I don't understand how that works.
Well, if you want to sell, if you want to be successful, you do. Certainly you don't have to, but yeah. So really, the more, it's like anything. The more effort you put in, the more you're going to get out of it. And I've found that even if you move something, just from this shelf to this shelf, it's liable to sell. Even if you don't have new stuff to take, just refresh it, move stuff around, and things tend to sell. I try to go to each of my booths at least once every 2 weeks. And the 2 in Knoxville, I usually go at least once a week to those. And yeah, you definitely have to work it if you want to be successful, though.
So, Rosie, we have a job opening for you.
I've been on plenty of antique mall runs. Checking out.
Rosie's like, I'm not doing that.
Help move them around next week, next 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, we're actually moving to a new location in Clinton, just up the street, but we're moving into a new building, so it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. We have the equivalent of 4 booths at that one location, and it's square. It's a kind of a square-shaped area, so we're moving to 2 booths, which is 24 feet by 10 feet. So
Wow,
it's going
that's
to
a
be
big
long
booth.
and skinny. So it's going to be
That is a big
definitely
booth.
complete
Wow.
rearranging of how the stuff's laid out.
I thought ours was
So-
big by 6x8.
His is a 6x8. Wow, that is a big booth. Now, are you going to do what Johnny said, Stewart, about the sign-in sheet?
Like if you heard about us, if
If they come in and visit your shop or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said it. I mean, if anybody wants to go into any of my 3 booth locations and say you heard about it on the podcast, you can get 20% off. So just mention it to whoever's working the counter.
Hey, Johnny, we're feeling real good right now. I tell you what, if y'all go to the Bruce Flippers store, it'll give you 60% off.
6% off.
He's
Yeah.
like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I gotta make $110 a month.
Hey, we're free to give it away. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll give it away everywhere. And so, Stewart, do you have so one of the things I noticed they've added some security cameras where I'm at because they apparently had some issues with theft. But do you have your own security cameras in there on your booth, or do you just allow it to kind of be what it is?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I know I've had some things stolen. Only one of the malls where I am has security cameras. I've thought about putting in my own cameras because I mean, we already have a camera system in our house. I could just do an extension of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, to this point, it hasn't been a big enough issue that, that I've thought I needed to do that. Some of us, we have pretty good locations in relationship to where the front counters are, and that helps.
Yeah, so that makes a difference.
Ultimately, if somebody wants to walk out the door with something, I mean, it's hard to stop them. But
yeah, it really is. Yeah.
What if you just put up signs said video in progress or?
Well, they have them all over in ours, it's because they actually do have their own security, but a lot of people that own the booths put up their own ring cams and they're just kind of watching it. But I'm like, I don't know if I'm that, worried about it. I'm not worried about a dollar comic being stolen, probably a $20 pop, or something, or some of these plates and things that we're putting in their antique, maybe, but it's kind of hard to walk out with them. Plus they just instituted some rules that says you can't carry bags in anymore and backpacks and stuff. So I think that's going to help a lot because it's kind of hard to shove a pop down your pants if you want to, walk out with one. So I think they're going to have a harder time doing that. It's like depends on the pants, right?
MC
Challenge accepted.
Exactly. He's walking out like, do. You got my pants on. Oh man.
Tell you what, Stewart, put a couple of pops in your store and we'll send Johnny on a mission. See if he can get in and out cleanly.
Stewart, I want to know what kind of ice cream is on the menu here. I'm kind of excited about this.
we don't know. It's called the Main Street Creamery. It's walking distance from the hotel, so we're going to find out though.
What's your favorite kind, Rosie?
I just like, we go to Culver's a lot, so I just like a classic vanilla soft serve with Reese's on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Culver's.
And Dad is buying, correct?
Dad is buying. I'm unemployed, so.
That sounds like my daughter.
Rosie, here's the situation. Once we get to 500 subscribers, we're going to be over at your dad's house for a little get together.
Oh, perfect.
Hopefully, it's going to be football season. We can watch football games on the newly mounted outdoor TV set.
And the new couch that they just got from Amazon.
There we go.
So I want to let you guys know I found the Main Street Creamery on online, and somebody left them 4 stars out of 5 and said it's the best ice cream ever. So I don't know what you have to do to get that 5th star, but the best ice cream ever, 4 stars.
They got to get better on the melting rate because in this heat right here, it's you got to eat
long.
quick.
Yeah, doesn't take long.
Well, it's a little cool out here tonight where we are. So
Must be nice.
Yeah, I noticed Rosie's in a little jacket.
Yeah, I've been wearing a sweatshirt most days, and it's been 90s. So I'm built different.
That
He keeps the room at about 50 degrees, so I gotta layer up.
So, David, real quick before we get off here, have you ventured into making your podcast yet? Because I know we talked about that several months ago.
But I am I'm at the point now because I don't have any excuses anymore. So I've got probably 200 hours worth of video that I could use from garage sales, so I could do that, and then I need to just do something. So I think I have a lot of things to say because I've watched so many podcasts, and I mean, I love you guys, so you guys are great, and you don't ever say anything but there's a lot of podcasts I watch, and I'm like going, I don't think new people need to hear that. So I feel like I got a voice. I need to get out there and say something. So I might get 10 followers. We'll see. Maybe because I'm David Beckham, they'll get 25. But
yeah, I would definitely use that.
People are going to be so pissed when you don't talk about soccer.
You're like, oh, man.
David will really let himself go.
Like, man, this looks like crap.
Yeah, we listen to all these pop culture podcasts on the drive home, and it's kind of inspired me to maybe start like an 80s pop culture podcast.
Yeah, that is actually something I had actually started thinking about because I'm a noob in the comic world, and I just kind of started comics, and I love the artwork. That's kind of what drew me in. But now I started reading them, so I almost thought about starting a podcast to talk about a new guy's view of getting into the comics and what you do and stuff, and just about the collecting part, because I'm doing a lot of collecting, but I'm also buying a lot and buying and selling, actually making some money on them. So, I think it's something kind of interesting to talk about, but I thought about that same thing, just maybe not so much reselling. I could talk about reselling, but there's other stuff that actually gets a lot more views than reselling. This is a small market, and if you get out there into the pop culture era, I think you get a lot more people to listen to you and talk about other stuff. So,
is comics considered ephemera?
I think in the strictest definition of the word, no. But like if you get on the ephemera shows on whatnot, even though comics has its own category, I mean, people will bring up comic lots during ephemera shows. I mean, they're paper, so they kind of fit in, but. The strictest definition of the word ephemera is stuff that was meant to be thrown away. But, really anything made of paper and even kind of outside of some paper things now fall under the ephemera category.
Okay.
Do you think that podcasts like it's the new middle-aged man's thing? Like they were home brewing and now they're doing podcasts. Is that what it is? Is that the transition?
It almost makes me think it is,
what's your category, Johnny? Where does that put you at?
I'm just
you're hanging out with three old guys right now.
I'm just mature,
You're an old soul.
He's an old soul. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, I think there's a lot of opportunity out there, and I know my brother and I have even thought about talking. We've talked about my brothers get together. Of course, I don't know. We probably are rated, so it wouldn't be very. But just the fact that we get together, we have so much fun and talk and stuff, and we thought about doing our own podcast, just the Beckham brothers, talking about some of the stuff we did growing up and all that. But there's probably opportunity for anything. So it's hard to get your foot in the reseller world. And you guys kind of got it started. So I probably will do that first and then see where I go and then see what happens. But now that I've got my background and I can sit and talk in front of it and I don't feel like I'm looking in front of a mess, I'll probably do something along this line. So
that's cool.
So let's give Rosie the last word on this podcast.
Wow. Thanks everyone for watching. Please help out these three old guys and help me get a job by subscribing now.
That is all the time that we have this evening on the Finders Flippers Resell Podcast. Again, David Beckham, we appreciate you sliding on in and joining us this evening. And Rosa, we appreciate you joining us with your father this evening out there on the Oregon Trail. Thank you all so much.
The Oregon Trail.
Yeah, Rosie, drive carefully. Make sure the passenger princess keeps you focused.
Yeah, so far we've only lost 3 mules, and neither one of us got there, so we're doing good.
So remember, guys, when we get to 200, Johnny, say it. We're doing what?
We're going live.
Going
live.
Yeah, and our last live was really fun. So I'm looking forward to the next one. And then at 500, everybody's coming to my house.
That's right.
Let's do
I want to win some of that apple butter that you have because man, that looked good.
Oh,
We still haven't figured out how to do that. The giveaway. So anybody does that?
oh, on that note, David, your stickers are en route.
Oh, thanks, man. Cool. I'm excited. We love watching your videos, man. So
Oh, that's right, David. You won the giveaway I had. Did you receive that?
and I got it. So yeah, it's cool. So
Okay.
So thank you
Great,
very much. But yeah.
Well, everybody have a great evening, and we will
Safe
see
travels,
you next
Stewart.
time.
All right.
Safe travels, guys. All right.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.